Yeah. You grazed my arm in passing like it was nothing, but my skin recorded every single detail. The pressure, the direction, the exact temperature. My body writing down what words would fail. I've been walking around with the memory of it, like a song I can't locate, but I know every word. And you went right back to talking like you hadn't just done the most distracting thing I've heard. Not heard, felt wrong, word doesn't matter. The point is I was gone after one touch, and you were standing there completely casual, and I was falling at an embarrassing amount. I don't know what to do with this. My whole body has an opinion now. Every nerve is leaning in your direction, and I can't figure out how to calm them down. Skin memory under my skin, not in the cliche way, in the literal sense. My fingertips remember exactly where you've been, and they're asking me to close the distance. Skin memory, I can't shake it loose. Everything you touch is keeping score. Skin memory, you're in my nervous system, and every nerve is only asking for more. Under my skin, you've been there since the very beginning. Under my skin, can't wash it off. Under my skin, and I'm not stopping. You handed me a jacket in the cold last Friday, draped it right across my shoulders from behind, and I stood there absolutely not breathing normally, trying to act like that was fine. It was fine. Spoiler, it was not fine in any capacity. I wore it home and then I wore it through the week. My roommate said, isn't that the same jacket? I said, new one, which is a lie, so to speak. You got this way of touching things around you like the world is just an extension of your hands, and somehow I have gotten on that list of things, and I'm doing absolutely nothing to reverse that plan. I don't know what to do with this. My whole body has an opinion now. Every nerve is leaning in your direction, and I can't figure out how to calm them down. Skin memory under my skin, not in the cliche way, in the literal sense. My fingertips remember exactly where you've been, and they're asking me to close the distance. Skin memory, I can't shake it loose. Everything you've touched is keeping score. Skin memory, you're in my nervous system, and every nerve is only asking for more. So reach over again, find some reason, any reason. My skin's been waiting since the last time. Every season, I'm not asking for more than this, just your hand somewhere near mine. Skin memory's a beautiful thing when it's yours and when it's mine. Skin memory, you and the ache. Under my skin you stay. Mouth first, heart second. Everything you say is in before I reckon. Mouth first, move slowly. I want everything you got, and I want it only now. The way you say my name is a specific way, like you selected it with something in mind. And every sentence that you start I'm leaning into, trying to get there just ahead of the finish line. You speaking, I'm already reorganized, rearranging everything I thought I knew. In the voice of it, the register, the warmth of it is doing unreasonable things. It's you. I've listened to a lot of people talk, I've been talked at, talked to, talked around. Nobody has ever had this particular effect where every word you say is the best sound. Open your mouth and I'm already there before the sentence finishes its form. Everything you say to me sounds like exactly what I've been waiting on since I was born. Mouth first, you got me with the mouth first, before the rest had any chance to land. Mouth first, and everything that followed was just confirming what that first sound had planned. Your voice, your laugh, your low and whisper, the way you drop the volume when it's meant for me. Mouth first. You led with everything you had, and I followed willingly. You told me something once at 11:42. I remember the time because I checked right after. Not because of what you said, but because of how the saying of it sounded in the rafter of the specific room we were sitting in, where the acoustics were apparently ideal for the thing your voice was doing in the dark and the way it made the whole thing feel. I've been in love with voices, theoretically understood the concept from a distance, but you opened your mouth that Tuesday night and collapsed the theory into an instance. Mouth first, you got me with a mouth first. Before the rest had any chance to land. Mouth first, and everything that followed was just confirming what that first sound had planned. Your voice, your laugh, your low and whisper, the way you drop the volume when it's meant for me. Mouth first, you led with everything you had, and I followed willingly. Say it again, whatever you were just about to say. Lower this time just for me, the same way you do at the end of a day. When the room gets quiet and you stop performing for the general, and you turn it on me specifically, and everything becomes peripheral. Mouth first, heart second. Everything you say gets in before I reckon. Mouth first, mouth move slowly. I want everything you got, and I want it only now. Mouth first every time. Say hello, just like that, just like that. Keep talking, don't stop. Magnetic, heart keep bending up on your side of every room, of every moment, of every night. Magnetic, I don't control the movement, I just follow the pull towards your light. Something in the pose reversed the second you walked in, and now every direction points to you. Magnetic, I've accepted that this is physics, and physics is something I can't argue through. I clocked it first at the corner of the room where I wanted without making a decision. 1 minute I was over there, the next I was near you, like the space between it made its own incision. And you looked up like you'd been expecting it, not surprised, more like confirmed the thing. Like you placed a bet on where I'd end up, and the landing was just settling. I introduced myself like I'd arrived there normally, like I hadn't been pulled by some invisible hand. You smiled like you were reading the whole situation with a fluency I'll never understand. Magnetic, magnetic, pull me in. Magnetic, magnetic, where you've been pulled. 3 parties, 4 gatherings, 2 events, and every single time I end up next to you, either the universe has strong opinions, or I've been less subtle than I thought I knew. My friends started calling it flip the drift, like a thing with the name and the pattern in the track. There you go again, she says around hour 2, and I don't even try to argue back, 'cause she's right, the drift is documented. I have moved in your direction without choosing, and the fact that you're always in the same place means either we're both losing or we're both winning, depending on your angle. And from my angle, it's the latter word. The drift has been very good to me so far, and I intend to let it go undeterred. I've stopped pretending it's coincidence, stop blaming the layout of the room. Something in me knows where you are, and aims without needing the view. Magnetic, I keep ending up on your side of every room, of every moment, of every night. Magnetic, I don't control the movement, I just follow the pull towards your light. Something in the pose reversed the second you walked in, and now every direction points to you. Magnetic, I've accepted that this is physics, and physics is something I Let me come to you this time with intention. Not the drift, not the pull. Of the fact that I wanna be here, right here in this exact radius. Not because physics said so, because I said so. Magnetic, pulling me to you, every time, every room. Like that, look at me like that. Everything you're doing with your eyes is a fact. Like that, leaning like that. I've been waiting for a move like that. Do it like that. You looked at me like that, like I was the only problem we're solving in the room. Like that, you move like that, and everything rearranged itself to make more room for you. Like that, one hand like that, reaching past the obvious to land on something real. Like that, just like that, is the single greatest discovery of how I feel. You gotta move, you doing, you're deciding something. A stillness right before the action breaks. And I've been watching for it all of this evening, because what comes after is always worth the wait. You went still for about a second and a half, and I clocked it and I didn't say a word. Held my breath because the move was coming, and the move when it came was the most I've heard. You leaned across and said my name in that specific little register you use for things that count. And everything that followed from that moment was the highest possible amount. You do this like you practice, like you know the exact effect of the exact gesture. And maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Either way, I'm not capable of lesser. My whole system, when you do the thing you do, launches into a full-scale production, where the sensible part goes quiet and the wanting part takes over all instruction. I've been a functioning adult for several years. I have systems, I have structure, I have plans. And then you tilt your head at a specific angle, and I hand over all the keys into your hands. Willingly, enthusiastically, completely, with no reservation and no secondary thought. Because the way you do the things you do is the most convincing argument I've got. Oh, like that, you looked at me like that, like I was the only problem we're solving in the room. Like that, you moved like that, and everything rearranged itself to make more room for you. Like that, one hand like that, reaching past the obvious to land on something real. Like that, just like that, is the single greatest discovery of how I feel. Do it again, the thing you just did, right there, that specific. Everything I built to seem unbothered and collected, one moving up, completely unprotected. Like that, look at me like that, everything you're doing with your eyes is a fact. Like that, lean in like that, I've been waiting for a move like that. Do it like that, just like that. Do it again, yeah, like that, yeah, like that. Just keep going like that. Yeah. Used to close enough that I could feel the specific warmth coming off your shoulder. And the room temperature is not the issue here. The issue is you keep getting bolder. Half inch closer every 20 minutes, like a tide that doesn't announce itself coming in. And I'm standing at the shoreline, fully knowing the water's gonna win, it's gonna win. You reached up to fix something on the wall behind me, which required you to reach across my space. And I stood completely still and did not breathe, which was the only dignified response to your face. Ooh, thin air, you took the air right out of it. The room's been running low since you came close. Thin air, I've been breathing careful, measuring out what I need the most. Every inch between us is a conversation about what hasn't been said out loud yet. Thin air between us, standing charged and warm, and I haven't hit the ceiling of this feeling yet. Thin air, ooh, running out. Thin air, what's this about you? I've been conducting an involuntary experiment where the variable is you and the control is gone. Because there's no control group for this situation, you showed up and the whole design moved on. From normal science into something else, something where the data's all subjective, where every measurement I take is compromised. Cause you're both the subject and the objective. You tilted your chin down to listen to me, which you do when you're giving your full attention. And the full attention of you in my direction is its own atmospheric intervention. Don't step back, I'm fine here, fine with the thin air, fine with the close. Don't recalibrate the distance, this is exactly the right dose of thin air. You took the air right out of it. The room's been running low since you came close. Thin air, I've been breathing careful, measuring out what I need the most. Every inch between us is a conversation about what hasn't been said out loud yet. Thin air between us, standing charged and warm, and I haven't hit the ceiling of this feeling yet. Just breathe, or don't. I'm not doing a great job either. The thin air is better than regular air. You're a better reason than breathing. Stay here in the almost, I'll stay in the almost with you. Thin air is enough when the thin air is you. Thin air, you and me. Breathe slow, stay close, don't breathe, stay close. Thin air is enough. Yeah. Don't tell me that was accidental. Don't tell me that you didn't feel it too. The thing that just happened in this moment was entirely on purpose, and it came from you. You placed your hand on the table near mine, not touching, just adjacent, just deliberate. And the declaration in the placement of it was about as loud as it could get without the literal words, which neither of us has gotten to yet. But the hand says most of what the mouth has skipped. And I looked at it, you looked at me looking at it, and we both just let the understanding sit. You've been doing this all evening, with precision that suggests a plan. Inch by inch, move by move, signal by signal, and I'm reading everyone. Don't think I can. On purpose, every single thing you've done tonight has been on purpose, has been perfectly designed. On purpose, the lane, the look, the timing, the way you put your warmth against my mind. On purpose, and I love that you're deliberate, love that you're not pretending it's an accident. On purpose, it's the sexiest thing going on, every move you made and what it meant. On purpose, you know what you're doing. On purpose, the whole thing is moving. Come on. Come on, you made eye contact and held it 2 beats extra. The count with both parties know the count. And that beat 3, you dropped it to my mouth. And that beat 4, you look back up, that's the amount of information exchanged in 4 beats without a single syllable deployed. And I stood there receiving the full broadcast, completely and entirely overjoyed that someone with your specific bandwidth is sending signals directly at me. The channel's open, I'm receiving clearly, and the transmission is everything I need. Every single thing you've done tonight has been on purpose, has been perfectly designed. On purpose, the lean, the look, the timing, the way you put your warmth against my mind. On purpose, and I love that you're deliberate, love that you're not pretending it's an accident. On purpose, it's the sexiest thing going. I want every move you made and what it meant. Tell me it's on purpose. Say it out loud, I wanna hear it. That everything you do when I'm around is aimed, is lit, is nearest. Say you've been deliberate, say the whole night was a plan. I've been reading you correctly, tell me that I understand. On purpose, all of on purpose, aimed at me. Every move, every look, on purpose. On purpose. Breathless, you got me breathless. Didn't even have to try the full effect. Breathless, standing in your radius, completely and spectacularly wrecked right now. You walked in from the cold with your cheeks flushed, and did that thing where you shake off the outside air, and landed in the warmth of the room like you owned it. Like warmth was just a thing to gather where you were. You didn't look for anyone specifically, just took the room in from the doorway for a second, and then your eyes found me, not scanning, finding like you known the coordinates and beckoned. I was mid-sentence with someone else, and the sentence did not finish as designed. You looked at me across the full length of the room, and everything else went on pause, never mind. Breathless, I go breathless when you enter, like the air gets redistributed toward you. Breathless, don't know how to explain it, except the physics change and I feel it all come through. Something warm and something fast and something serious happening between my chest and what you are. I've ever felt this far. You make me forget how lungs work, which is inconvenient and incredible. Every time you're near, I lose the basics. Becomes the secondary principle. Behind wanting you to be closer, behind watching how you hold your glass, behind the hope that the specific moment doesn't end, doesn't pass. I've been told I'm pretty composed in general, that I carry myself with a certain collected ease. And then you came along and demonstrated exactly how conditional that turns out to be. You smiled at something I said unexpectedly, the real one, not the social one, the one behind. And composed went out the window with collected, and I rebuilt the whole thing from a different mind. One where you are a primary variable in every calculation I'm currently running, where breathless is not the deficit but the data, and the data is astounding and it's coming. Let me be breathless in your presence, let me not have it together, that's fine. Breathless with you is better than composed without you anywhere near this life. I'm breathless, I go breathless when you enter, like the air gets redistributed toward you. Breathless, don't know how to explain it, except the physics change and I sent me something at 11:45, and the content was completely ordinary. But the time of it, the tone underneath the words was a different kind of dictionary. It said, hey, and that was technically the message, but the subtext was a whole extended essay. And I read the subtext 17 times before I figured out exactly what to say. Which was nothing, I sent nothing back immediately, because the art of receiving information is the pause, and you send a follow-up at 11:50, which confirmed the subtext and its cause. Signal fire, signal fire, lighting up the night. Signal fire, signal fire, you're the only light. Burn. I've been watching for the signal every evening, the specific one that says you're thinking of me too. And tonight the signal came through, clear and full, and everything in me is aimed at you. Signal fire, you lit a signal fire, and I saw it from a mile in every direction. Signal fire, burn, burn, burning in the distance, and I followed it without a second's hesitation. All the smoke signals you've been sending, I've been reading them, I've been reading them. Signal fire, burning all the way to me. I'm already on my way, I'm already coming. There's a language that develops between two people that nobody else can fully translate, where how was your day means something completely other, and I'm tired comes with a specific weight. You've been learning mine and I've been learning yours, and the fluency is running ahead of schedule. Where we'll be in 6 months from this moment is the thing I'm most invested in and settled. All because the signal fire's not slowing, it's getting brighter with each thing that passes, and I've been following it with full commitment through all the smoke and all the unlit patches. Signal fire, you lit a signal fire, and I saw it from a mile in every direction. Signal fire, burn, 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 burning in the distance, and I followed it without a second's hesitation. All the smoke signals you've been sending, I've been reading them, I've been reading them. Signal fire, burning all the way to me. I'm already on my way, I'm already coming. Keep it burning, I'm not as far as you think. The signal's been pulling me closer every night, every link in the chain of you reaching and me finding the reach. Signal fire between us, finally within reach. Signal fire burning. I found you. Keep it burning, keep it burning. I found you. I found you. You're the closest thing to everything I didn't know I've been describing all along in the abstract. You're the closest thing to landing, to arriving, every version of you that I interact with is the version that rewrites the definition of what close means to a body like mine. You're the closest thing, the very closest thing to perfect in the most imperfect line. Closest thing you are. Closest thing near and far. Come here. I've been describing something vaguely for a while to anyone who asked what I was looking for. Kept saying, you know, just the feeling of it. Never could get specific before. And then you showed up in the middle of a Tuesday, doing nothing remarkable at the time. And everything I've been describing vaguely suddenly had a very specific outline. You're it, the closest I can say it without having the exact vocabulary down. The thing I've been working toward describing and couldn't pin until you came around. Closing the way that changes the temperature, closing the way that rewires the brain, closing the way that makes everything previous seem like a rehearsal for the main. You make the ordinary feel specifically chosen, like every regular moment has an agenda, and the agenda is warmth and it's attention, and it's the full version of you in full surrender to the moment, to the room, to the conversation. You don't hold anything back for later. Being around someone who's fully present is fairer than any of the other greater things I thought I was looking for before. Turns out presence is the whole prerequisite. Being the closest thing requires being here, and you are the most here that anyone has been. Admit you're the closest thing to everything I didn't know I've been describing all along in the abstract. Ooh, you're the closest thing to landing, to arriving, every version of you that I interact with is the version that rewrites the definition of what close means to a body like mine. You're the closest thing, the very closest thing to perfect in the most imperfect line. Closest thing doesn't mean almost. The closest thing means arrive. You're not the almost version. You're the thing itself inside of every definition I've been running through my mind. Closest thing is not a consolation. Closest thing is the fine. Closest thing you are. The thing itself. Closest thing is everything. You're the thing, you're it. You've been touch and go all evening, close enough to feel but never staying, present in a way that keeps me leaning towards you, and then you're back to swaying. Out of reach before I recalibrate, back before I finish the retreat. And the pattern of the almost and the almost is the most consistently incomplete. Complete experience I've ever had, because the incomplete is doing more than anything that ever finished would. And I keep coming back for more of the touch I know is coming, go, the going that I know I feel. Touch every time you land on something, go, believe it's something that is real. Touch and go, touch and go. Every time you pull away I want you so. Touch and go, touch and go. Believing is the reason for the show. Stay, touch and go. The story of my whole last season. Touch and go. The sweetest form of almost there. Touch and go. You arrive with every reason, and you leave before the reason fills the air. Touch the one that you decided, go, the loss of your specific life. I'm living in the cycle, and the cycle is the best part of tonight. I've been doing research on the touch and go, reading every moment like a text I need to decode. The touch says yes, and the go says patience, and together they're a very complicated oh. To want is something enough to wait for it, to trust that the returning is the point, and you return with everything you took away, plus interest, plus the fully loaded joint. Effort of someone who's been thinking while they're gone. The goal is not the ending, it's the arc, and the touch when it comes back is better. For the going, for the space, for the dark. Touch, stay longer than the last time, go, but come back faster than before, and let me feel the full weight and leave the door. I'll be here in the touch and go. I've learned the rhythm, I've memorized the timing. Touch and go and touch and go, and I'm still touch and go. The story of my whole last season. Touch and go. The sweetest form of almost there. Touch and go. You arrive with every reason, and you time you do the thing you do, I want it bad, no going back. You walked in here and I want every bit of that right now. I've been cool about a lot of things in life. Patience is a thing I've practiced and I've owned. But you've been sitting there for 40 minutes doing things that patience can't condone, like running your thumb along your lower lip while you're thinking like you don't know the effect, and looking up at me to check if I'm still listening, which yes, in a way you never expect, because I'm listening to everything, including the things that have no sound but still transmit. And everything you're transmitting from that chair is the thing I am least equipped to sit. I want it bad and I'm not pretending. I'm done with the version where I keep it inside. Want it bad enough to say it plainly. Done with all the places that I hide. You got this move when you're about to leave, where you don't quite leave, you linger at the edge. One hand on the door, body still in the room. 1 foot on the floor with 1 foot on the ledge. Between staying and departing, between present and gone. And the moment is the longest I felt, because the linger says something the leaving doesn't say. And the something it says goes straight to the bell of every feeling I've been managing carefully. That carefully goes out when you do the linger thing. And want it bad becomes the only sentence, and everything else stops mid-ring. Want it bad, specific kind of wanting that doesn't politely ask, it takes the floor. Want it bad, and I'm done with the composure every single time you walk back through my door. Something about you dismantle the restraint somewhere between the first and fourth arrival. Want it bad, it's not the desperate version. Want it bad, it's just the honest. Want it wild. Want it bad, want every bit of this. Want it bad with you, want it like this. Want it bad enough to say it. Want it bad enough to reach. Want it bad enough to cross the last 2 inches of the breach. Between your space and mine, between the almost and the art. Want it bad enough tonight to close the entire bar. Want it bad, want it real bad. Every time you do the thing you do, I want it bad. Want it bad, no going back. You walked in here and I want every bit of that right now. You don't rush anything, I've noticed. Everything you do has its own measured pace. The way you lift your glass, the way you gesture, the way you navigate your way through space. Slow hands, doing every ordinary thing, like every ordinary thing deserves the time. And watching you take your time with everything around you is making me want you to take your time with mine. You pour the wine like it was a decision, like each pour mattered in the angle too. And I've been watching hands my whole entire life, but never quite like watching yours. Is you slow hands? I want you slow hands on everything, deliberate and warm and sure. And here, slow hands, the pace you move at changes things, makes the whole world feel more clear. There's something in the way you don't rush anything that makes me wanna meet you at your speed. Slow hands, I'll slow mine down to match you. Slow hands are exactly what I need. Yeah. You fixed my sleeve that was slightly turned, reached over without making a production. 2 fingers straightened it, released it, the most efficient possible seduction. I was mid-thought, you were mid-sentence, and the sleep was done in under 3 seconds flat. But the 3 seconds had the quality of longer, and I've been reconstructing every detail of that. The deliberate reach, the specific 2 fingers, the way you looked at the sleeve, not at me, and then back up like you hadn't just completely rearranged my entire chemistry. Slow hands, don't rush it. Slow hands, I love it. Take time. A skill then you've got it mastered. Slow is the fastest way to where I am. Slow hands on every single surface is the most effective possible plan. Slow hands, I want your slow hands on everything, deliberating, warm and sure and here. Slow hands, the pace you move that changes things, makes the whole world feel more clear. There's something in the way you don't rush anything that makes me wanna meet you at your speed. Slow hands, I'll slow mine down to match you. Slow hands are exactly what I need. Take every second you want with this. I've got nowhere to be except right here in the radius of your slow hands on every careful thing. Slow everything down, let the slow hands ring. Slow hands, take your time. Slow everything, slow down, slow down. Slow hands on everything. You said something once that I caught, right at the edge of what you meant to let through. And I've been waiting since that first time, for the second time, to tell me twice to you. Tell me twice, say it again, everything you almost said and where it's been. Tell me twice, I heard it right. Tell me twice and we can start tonight. Say it. You almost said it at the table in the corner. The sentence started and then changed direction mid-flight. We're routed to something safer at the last second, which is the single most frustrating kind of right. I watched the original sentence start to form, could see it in the way your shoulder dropped, and then the pivot, the adjustment, the recovery, and the thing I needed most just stopped. You covered it well, I give you that completely, but I've been watching for exactly that expression, and the pivot almost always means the original was a direct and honest and significant confession. Tell me twice what you almost said the first time. Tell me twice, I'll be better prepared to receive it. Let the sentence finish this time, let the original draft come through, I believe it. I'm ready for the unedited version, the one before the pivot and the reroute. Tell me twice, and I'll tell you back immediately everything I've also kept inside my mouth. We've been doing this for several months of almost, the almost said, the almost reached, the almost look. And at some point, the almost is the barrier, not the protection, not the patience, but the stuck. And I need the twice, I need the second draft, the one that doesn't catch itself and turn, the one that finishes the sentence that it started, the one with all the heat still in the burn. You know what you wanna say, I've clocked it, I've seen the sentence waiting behind your eyes, and I'm right here with the full receiving capacity. So go ahead and tell me twice. Tell me twice what you almost said the first time. Tell me twice, I'll be better prepared to receive it. Let the sentence finish this time, let the original draft come through, I believe it. I'm ready for the unedited version, the one before the pivot and the reroute. Tell me twice, and I'll tell you back immediately everything I've also kept inside my mouth. Say it, the first version, not the edited. I already know what it is, I just wanna hear you credit it out loud in the air, between us where the air is thin. Tell me twice and I'll say it back, and we can both begin. Tell me twice, the real one. Tell me twice, I'm ready. Say the first version. Tell me twice. tipping point. We're at the tipping point. The thing returning, so's been building and it's there. Tipping point, right at the edge of something. One more move and everything falls into the air. This is the moment before the moment changes. This is the breath before the breath that counts. Tipping point, we're balancing on the edge of this. And I wanna tip, I want the full amount. I can feel the weight of the thing we've been building. Every time you moved, every time I've stayed. The collective gravity of all the almost moments has been stacking up, and this is where it's weighed. You're sitting close enough that I can feel you breathing, which is either very romantic or intense. And the intention and the way you're doing nothing is the most something I felt in present tense. We are so close to the thing that comes after this. The before has its own electricity, and I've been living in the before for long enough that the after feels like a necessity. 1 degree more and the whole thing tips. One word more and the balance shift completely. One more inch of you in my direction, and everything we've been becomes definitively tipping point, we're right there. Tipping point, I don't care. Tip over. Yeah, you laid back and then forward in one motion, and the forward brought you closer than the back. And the closer is the tipping point arriving, and I'm not doing anything to pull it back. I'm all in on the tip, fully committed to whatever comes when the balancing is done. And you looked at me like you already knew that, which is the most attractive thing under the sun. The knowing this specific look of knowing that the person across from you is in is the most powerful confirmation I can get, that we're both standing at the edge and both beginning to accept that tipping over into this is not the fall but the arrival at the ground. And the ground is where we've both been heading since the first time you made that sound. We're tipping, I can feel it in the lean. The physics of this moment is the cleanest I've seen. Tip toward me, I'll meet you in the middle of the fall. Tipping point is just the start of it all. Tipping point, we're at the tipping point. The thing between us has been building and it's there. Tipping point, right at the edge of something. One more move and everything falls into the air. This is the moment before the moment changes. This is the breath before the breath that counts. Tipping point, we're balancing on the edge of this. And I wanna tip, I want the full amount. Tipping point, right here. Tipping point, tip over. We're there, we're right there. Tip over into this. You're not the loud kind of devastating, you're the quiet kind that works over time. Not the lightning bolt, not the dramatic entrance, you're the slow accumulation of design. Every conversation has a layer, every look deposits something new. And the architecture of the wreck you're building is the most deliberate thing I've been through. You've been at this for what? 4 months of Tuesday evenings, and occasional Saturdays and texts at the right time. And the cumulative effect of all of it together is the most beautiful demolition of mine. Don't speed it up, I don't want the fast version of this thing. Wreck me slowly with your specific everything. That's the only ask I'm bringing. Wreck me slow, the slow wreck is the good one. Wreck me slow, the way you've been all along. Wreck me slow, every Tuesday adding something. Every look contributing to the song that's playing in the background of the wreckage, which is warm and full and building to a close. Wreck me slow, take every single second and give me the wreck, and I want the most. Yeah, you do this with your attention, it's consistent. You give it fully and without a caveat, and being the recipient of full attention from you specifically, imagine that. I've been talked at, talked past, talked around by people who were technically present but elsewhere. You sit across from me and you're entirely here, and the entirely here is a rare affair. The slow wreck is the presence, is the full attention, is the remembering the thing I said last week, is the checking in, the choosing to be chosen, is the very specific warmth you speak into every room you're in with me inside it. And the warmth is patient and the warmth is real, and the slow wreck of you is the best thing that has happened to everything I feel. Wreck me slow, stay. Wreck me slow, I say take your Every layer, every Tuesday, every look that lands and stays. Take the time you need to do this right. I'll be here through every night. Wreck me slow, I'm not going anywhere. Wreck me slow, I want the full affair. Wreck me slow, the slow wreck is the good one. Wreck me slow, the way you've been all along. Wreck me slow, every Tuesday adding something, every look contributing to the song that's playing in the background now, the wreckage, which is warm and full and building to a close. Wreck me slow, take every single second and give me the wrecking, I want the most. Wreck me slow, take your time, every layer slow, every bit of it slow. I'm not moving. Oh yeah, wreck me slow, wreck me right. Take all the time, take all night. You reached across the table for the salt, and your arm just brushed along the side of mine. I felt that all the way down to the pavement, and I had to take a second, I had to find someone neutral to put my eyes. There wasn't every single thing about you right now, cause depression was a fact and facts are stubborn. And I've been sitting with the fact for about an hour now. You're talking and I'm technically responding in a functional and grammatically okay way, but internally I'm filing a report on everything your arm just had to say. Little things with you are never little. Every small thing lands like something large, and I don't know how to recalibrate for you. You keep resetting every charge. Fever print, you left a fever print on me, right there where you touched me, passing by. Fever print, I can still feel the heat of it everywhere your skin decided to collide with mine. Fever print, the temperature staying long after you pull back and looked away. Fever print, and I'm not running cold again. You've gone and changed my baseline for the day. Fever, 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 print on me. Fever, fever, can't break free. You got this casual confidence about contact, like the world is just an extension of your reach. And I've been in the radius of it all evening, and the radius is doing things I cannot teach my body to ignore. I try to class, it's not accredited and it doesn't work. Every time you gesture, every time you punctuate with your hands on something in me shirk. My whole nervous system from its regular routine has been rerouted to your specific frequency. And I'm running at a higher temperature than usual, and the cause is sitting right in front of me. Little things where you were never little, every small thing lands like something large. And I don't know how to recalibrate for you. You keep resetting every charge. Fever print, you left a fever print on me, right there where you touched me, passing by. Fever print, I can still feel the heat of it. Everywhere your skin decided to collide with mine. Fever print, the temperature is staying long after you pull back and looked away. Fever print, and I'm not running cold again. You've gone and changed my baseline for the day. Don't move it, don't explain. The fever print is mine now. Now take it again, again, again. Every version of the accidental, every graze, every almost. You are entirely too